Hello you guys and welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you around the Wild Tangle on Eternity Isle. There's a bunch of different themes I've decorated in across this area. So we have some designs inspired by my favorite, The Little Mermaid, Peter Pan, and as you might be able to tell from my outfit and our surroundings, of course, we have some designs inspired by Up. So I hope you guys enjoy following me around my jungle. Let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm coming up from the incline that kind of connects on over to Ancient's Landing. I have my Goofy stall right when I come up the incline and the well. This first little section we're gonna be looking at is all inspired by Up. So I have the Adventurers Out There balloon ride. And then I also put in all of these balloon releasing trees, which are so cool. I just could not stop myself with adding them. So there are tons and tons of these balloons flying around in this little section, which is really fun. You can see them flying around throughout the rest of Eternity Isle in the background. So in this area, I also have Carl's house floating up in the sky here. And I did move in all of these little bird trees. I figured Kevin the bird would appreciate that. So I put in all of those little trees up here as well. And let's go ahead and make our way up the incline where a little bit of the Up design continues and we start moving into the Peter Pan area too. So because Russell from Up is a wilderness explorer, I feel like he could definitely fit in with living with some of the Lost Boys from Peter Pan and kind of help them out with living in the wilderness. So I kind of played off that idea here and used the camping house as Russell's house since we don't have him or Carl yet in the game. I thought this would be a fun way to add some more Up elements into my Wild Tangle. So I added this house here and am referring to it as Russell's house. In front of it, I have a little campfire area, a little archery area, and a tent for the Lost Boys. Over here, we have a little sitting area and Doug chilling out there on the side. And of course, I had to add in a companion house here and dock a bunch of squirrels to make Doug very happy about that. So I have that right next to Russell's house. And then for the rest of this little section, I was inspired to make a little area for Wendy to read to the Lost Boys and tell them stories. So I used this really cozy little tree book nook and I added in some lanterns and this funky little chair from the Lion King, which I feel like looks like the Lost Boys put it together with some things they found out here in the jungle. And then I added things like the hammocks and the little leaf bed as cute little places for the Lost Boys to sleep. So this is a really sweet little campground area. And then we can make our way across the bridge, and this gets us into a continuation of the Peter Pan area. So here's where I have Peter Pan's hideout and a little bit of a Neverland feel over here in the Wild Tangle. So I used a bunch of pieces from the Neverland River Kit. Let me circle around right here so we can get a really nice look at it. So I placed the River Kit pieces circling all around Peter Pan's house, which I thought was quite cute. I also added in all of the fountain water tiles to add a fun little animation in the water. I love the little swing on Peter Pan's house. We'll circle around and get a better look at that. So there is a path over here leading up to Peter Pan's front door. In front of Peter's house, I added in all these coconuts because I really like Once Upon a Time, and if you know, you know. And then we have this sweet little swing on the side of Peter Pan's house, which I think is just so cute. Across the River Kit here, we have a little area for Tinkerbell. I'll show you all that in just a moment. But let's walk Doug back around the tree. I did customize the well for this area too to the little tree trunk, which I think is so cute. Definitely fits in with Peter Pan's house. Heading back over to this area is where we have a little setup for Tinkerbell. So I have Tinkerbell's house here, and then of course added in a little tinkering station in a little hideout area. Again, this was kind of inspired by Once Upon a Time too, because in season 3, she's kind of hiding out in the jungle. So I thought that this was a really cool little build for her. And I definitely took some more inspiration from that show. And then while I was designing this on stream, someone recommended that we make a little fairy circle here. So I circled this rug with all the glowing mushrooms, and that looks really pretty at night with the little rainbow in the back. So that is the Peter Pan area. Before I get to showing you the Little Mermaid parts of this build, I want to come down here because it's kind of like just a general jungle theme down here, but I really love all the waterfalls behind this jungle house. I always call this house the Swiss Family Robinson house. It just looks like someone got stuck in the woods and they're making the most out of it. So I really just built this area up with lots of plants, and I added in another little swing here. I think it's really cute to catch a villager chilling out here in the jungle with all of the waterfalls in the background too. I just feel like this could be a really nice dream snap location, which is another thing I like to think about when I'm designing my areas. So let me head on over to the lagoon and we will get to checking out the Little Mermaid area, which is definitely one of my favorite parts of the Wild Tangle, but I had so much fun decorating these areas, and I did a lot of these builds on stream. So check out the channel if you're new and would like to see how this all came together. So here we are at the entrance to the lagoon, and I wanted to make a whole under the sea area inspired by the Little Mermaid and also inspired by the Mermaid Lagoon in Peter Pan. So we're playing off both movies here, and I used Touch of Magic to make these water rugs that match the river kit perfectly. I actually have a whole video going more in depth on how I did this, touring the full biome. So if you want to get another look at it, check that out. I also designed a bunch of this area on stream, as I mentioned. So if you want a closer look or you want to follow along and try to replicate a similar kind of vibe, check those videos out on the channel. We have a little gazebo over here. We have Sebastian's little music lesson area with little Sebastian here on the column. I always say little Sebastian when I'm talking about Sebastian from The Little Mermaid, but then there's also Lil Sebastian the pony on Parks and Rec. So yeah, not that one, but in fact the crab one. We have a little crafting station in the back of Ariel's house, which I did also place on the river kit. And then just lots of fun little waterways and different tropical areas. And I'm really happy with how this area turned out. It's very cluttered and a lot going on, especially with all of the mome rats, but I love how this all looks together, and it definitely gives me some Mermaid Lagoon vibes. Ariel is my favorite Disney princess, so I also had to go all out for her. So the last area I have to show you is next to Carl's house in the up section, and this is Eric's palace area. So I have Eric's house in the back as well as the little seaside villa there. And then we have just kind of like a tropical seaside town vibe. I really wanted to play off the elements of his kingdom and add in lots of mermaid touches. We actually had Ariel appear on the channel to design this whole area for Eric, because you guys know I would not be seen doing such a thing, because Eric is my nemesis in the valley, but Ariel went all out for him. She added in lots of fun little accessories. That was a really fun stream as part of the celebration for 10,000 subscribers on my channel. We do lots of cosplay streams on the channel. We have a little vanity area for Ariel over here. I added in this little lounging rock, kind of reminiscent of Ariel popping out of the water and singing on the rocks. And then over here we have the little carriage bringing us into the kingdom. Behind that, I tried to make a little bit of a kiss the girl area. This was before we had the Neverland River kits that I did all of this. So I think I could probably remake this a whole lot better, but that is the little kiss the girl inspired area over there for now. Then we can circle back over here behind Eric's house, because I did add in some fun stuff over here where Merlin is hiding out, I guess. So we have a little bit of a shipwreck theme over here. I did add in Gastons Shipwreck behind Eric's house. I thought it was quite cool because he is a sailor. And we have just some very nautical inspired items from his little blueprint table in his house. So that is this whole area. Oh my gosh, Alice. She startles me every time I'm doing a tour when she pops up like that. Okay, down she goes. So that is all of the Wild Tangle. I just want to show you guys an overhead of how everything is set up. So we have the up area right when you first enter the Wild Tangle. Over here is where I have Eric's set up his little kingdom area. And then continue back this way behind all of these balloons is where we have the little campground area for Russell and the Lost Boys. Moving into this section, this is all my area for Peter Pan and Tinkerbell, inspired by Neverland. Down in the lagoon, of course, we have our Little Mermaid lagoon set up with all of the water pathing. And then back here, we have what I call the Swiss Family Robinson house tucked away in the jungle. So I hope you guys have enjoyed following me around the Wild Tangle for this tour today. Be sure to like this video and subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next one.